Hello and welcome back to Firestorm Games, and in this video we're looking at Mortarion, the demon Primarch of Nurgle, who is of course the main daddy of the new Death God releases. Now in this video, instead of going through the sprues and doing a regular kind of unboxing and review, instead what I'll be doing is I'll be building the kit up from scratch, and then I'll be stopping every now and again and talking about either some advice I can give you about assembling the miniature or some particular components or features about the kit that I like. So let's get started and assemble Mortarion. The Mortarion kit comes over 2 sprues, and all of those components on those sprues are individually numbered, and that's referenced in the instruction booklet itself, which also has a numbering system, so you know exactly which component you need for which piece. My only gripe with this system is that a lot of the components are quite wildly spread across the sprue, so 22 might not actually be next to number 23, which can cause a little bit of confusion sometimes when you're looking for that individual piece, but to be honest, it doesn't take that much extra time. As Mortarion is a plastic kit, I'll be using my regular clippers, a hobby knife, but in this case I'm actually using a scalpel, and also some plastic glue. Pretty much the same way you would assemble any plastic kit. Now, I've already briefly mentioned the instructions at this point, but they are exceedingly clear. A lot of the components in there are also listed, which helps, but also the diagrams are actually very clear indeed. They're also color-coded, so you know exactly which areas you need to glue, and it also has small little pictograms depicting items which are optional or which should be glued at a later point. So with the base kit looked at, let's speed this assembly up a little bit. When following the instructions, you'll find that the assembly is broken down into several steps. Now what I'm doing is I'm removing all of the components for that step before I actually go about cleaning up the parts. Now it's very important to clean your parts, as mold lines really do stand out on your miniature, so it's better to take a little bit extra time at this stage and really clean up your parts. So with all the components removed from the sprue and also cleaned up, we can then move on to gluing them. Now I'm using a regular plastic glue here because plastic glue is a lot easier to work with. It also gives you the ability to slightly adjust your components before actually they become permanently affixed on the miniature, something that super glue doesn't always allow for. So let's continue with the sped up assembly until we reach an interesting part of the Mortarion kit. Now so far you've seen me assemble the torso and the legs of Mortarion, but next we're going to be moving on to some of the Nurglings and also the base of Mortarion. Now this bursting rock formation is a great example as to how Games Workshop should do their large creature bases. Now Magnus did have that destroyed close combat arm from the Dreadnought, but it's just not quite the same as this large open crater that looks like Mortarion has landed in from a great height. Next up we have Mortarion's wings, and these are fantastic. They're decayed, they're gruesome, they look kind of a cross between bat and insect wings, and a very stark contrast to Magnus's feathered, magnificent wings. Now this really brings home the actual Angel of Death appearance that Mortarion has. Now up until this point in the assembly, we haven't really been given any options or differences in how we can build Mortarion. So you get given a couple of options here. You get 2 weapons with Mortarion, Silence, which is the giant scythe that he wields, and also the Lantern, which is the giant pistol that he's holding as well. You can basically assemble either of these in his right or left arm, and that also changes the positioning of his head, basically whatever primary weapon you're using. And that concludes our look at Mortarion. And out of the 3 Primarchs that we have so far, he is definitely my favourite. The miniature is huge and the attention to detail is fantastic. The decay theme that runs across the entirety of this miniature really embodies the whole thing about Nurgle and the Death God. What I really love about this miniature as well, he really does have a throwback to the 30k edition of this miniature, the one produced by Forge World. He really does look like he's just been a Demon Prince version of that miniature. He still is wearing the armour, he still has the pistol, the scythe. Pretty much everything that he had previously has kind of been enhanced, it's been made more Nurgly, and everything is a lot bigger. Now if you want to pick up this beast of a miniature for yourself, he's available for £85 RRP. However, on the Firestorm Games web store, he's available for £76.50, which is a nice little saving for you there, and allows you to pad out your Death Guard army with a few more units. And I'll include a link in the description below, which will take you directly to his page on the web store. Now we are also eager to hear about what you think about this new video review format. If you liked it more or if you liked it less, do let us know in the comments below. And also make sure you subscribe to be kept up to date with all of Firestorm Games' future videos. And finally, a huge thank you from us for watching this video, and we'll see you again on Firestorm Games.